Hi you guys, this is Bobby Bass from Bobby Bass Universe. In today's video I will show you my good old trusty Ashdown MAG 300. And I will show you the strength of this amp, and I will also show you the weaknesses of this amplification. Stay tuned. Yeah, you guys, so this is my good old Ashdown MAG 300. I bought it in 2005, so this boy is 20 years old now. I will show you everything that is very good on this amp and also the things that are not quite as good. You might have noticed that this is not the original speaker, the blue one from the MAG 300. After 10 years of playing, the speaker made these horrible noises, kind of scratching. Yeah, you know, the sound that makes a speaker when it broke down. So I replaced it with a cheap Evidence speaker, and I think it's almost the same. Maybe it's slightly better than the original one. Yes, I chose the 300, the MAG 300, because of the 300 watts. And I was always playing in rock and roll bands, and I thought to myself, okay, I already got my MPEG SVT and I needed something small for the small clubs I was playing in. So I thought 300 watts is the minimum of power that my amp needs. This one is pretty loud. It's a really loud amp, so you can play it in every kind of music because this little combo is still loud enough. I put some rolls on the chassis because this boy is pretty heavy, and it's yeah, sometimes after gigging for 3 hours or anything, it's pretty hard to carry this amplification by the handle. So I put some cheap rolls underneath the chassis, and yes, this was the right decision. But I think the most important thing is the sound of this amplification, and yeah, I want you to listen to the sound of the MAG 300 as the tone comes out of the speaker. So I put my SM48, no, it's the SM58 in front of the speaker, and you might yeah, I think you can get a clear impression of what this amp is really sounding. And at the end of this video, I will also show you the sound of the DI out. From the start, everything is clean, so I do not put any treble or bass or mids, anything from my bass into the sound. And as you can see, everything is straight. And I also turned out the equalization, and I turned out the sub bass and the extra treble that I know from my MPEG SVT. And so this is how the amp sounds without any EQ. So what do you think? I think this does not sound very well. The first and most important thing I have to tell you, if you are thinking about buying such an amp, you have to EQ your sound. And so after 20 years of playing this amp, I finally got a setting that is, I think it fits to my style of music. First of all, I do some bass into the sound, and I turn down the nasty, muddy frequency, what is about 200 Hertz. This is my only chance to get any good sound of this amplification, is to turn down the mids. And then I leave the higher tone at 1600 Hertz, and I give in a lot of treble. And then I pull the ultra deep sound and the ultra high. as I do it on my MPEG SVT. And then okay, you can hear a little bit of distortion. Maybe it's a little too much of bass. Let's try it again. This boy sounds quite good. So you have to be careful when you are adjusting the bass. To be honest, after 10 years of playing, all the controllers were doing these scratchy sounds. You know what I mean? It's something that happens to every kind of controller. I put lots of WD-40. This is this, you know, this can with kind of oil inside. I took out the whole chassis and I put in WD-40. And after this, as you can hear, there is no scratching on the controllers and the poties. You can find a pretty decent sound out of the Ashdown. I was playing in a blues rock band for more than 3 years and we were gigging a lot, and I always took this Ashdown with me because of the size of the clubs we were playing in. It was always these small clubs we were playing in, 200 or 300 people, and I can tell you that sometimes we were playing with this Ashdown and there were no sound on the PA with this. So we were playing about in front of 200 people, and this good old boy made the whole bass sound, and it sounded great. There were just this kick and snare on the PA and the voices and nothing else. And it works. So MAG 300 can fill the whole room with lots of bass. Now I'd like to show you how this amp sounds with a jazz bass. I think this guy sounds pretty well. Okay, if you are looking for an amplification that also can deal with funky style of music, don't choose the Ashdown MAG 300. Listen. That's not quite good, but this is because of the 15-inch speaker, and I think you have to deal with such problems with every kind of amplification that has got a 15-inch speaker. But if you play that blues rock style, you will get this one used for less than 100 bucks. And I think it is worth the price. If you are looking for a small, maybe second amplification, and if you are playing in a rock and roll band or if you're playing in a blues rock band. So I haven't checked this amplification with any kind of distortion or any kind of pedal. If you want me to check this amp with a distortion pedal, please let me know and write it down in the comments. The most important strength of this amp is its loudness. It's completely loud. And I think because of the 15-inch speaker, you get this low end so that you can play small venues with just this amplification. And I think this is a big strength of this amp. So now I plugged in the DI out, and what you can hear is the pure signal of the DI out. So I changed the bass again. Okay, what is my conclusion? After 20 years of playing this amplification, I can tell you that this boy is pretty good on any kind of stage, because if you're playing in a small venue, you can fill the whole room with the low end of this amplification. And if you're playing on bigger stages, you can always hear your sound, and what comes outside is pretty decent because of the DI out. And if you consider that this amp costs less than 100 bucks on eBay or anything else, I think it's a good value for your money. Otherwise, if you are playing funky stuff, or if you are playing in a top 40 band where you need different kinds of sound, it would be hard for you to get a nice, decent sound out of this amplification. And please consider that the speaker, the blue one, the original one, can break. This is my experience, and you need to put some effort in the controllers because they start to scratch. But you can fix it very easily. So if you're looking for the right amp for your blues rock or rock and roll band, this is the way to go. If you like this video, I highly recommend to subscribe to our channel and to hit that notification bell. And always remember, bass playing is hard working.